I am personally in the position where I believe that, especially the plants, that there is an intelligence
Mm,
present in plants, fungi, animals. I mean, we could break down what intelligence is and how our utilizing human cognitive capacities as a yardstick for determining intelligence is anthropocentric and false, likely.
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
but I believe that there is an intelligence that we're interacting with when we're consuming these substances. And some people like to frame that as the inner intelligence or a larger spiritual intelligence or directly the intelligence of the spirit, we'll say, of that particular plant. But nonetheless, I feel like the psychedelics are bringing something to me,
mhm,
right? But what it brings to me, how it arises, what it can reveal to me, how it can speak and reveal and bring things to me, and what out of all of that I can make sense of is all dependent on what I'm bringing to the experience. And so if what I'm bringing to the experience are, dispositions and frameworks and models and understandings that are rooted in, say, psychotherapeutic understanding or attachment theory or ecology or meditation, spiritual practice, all these different fields that I could preload my mind with a sense of these things, that is all sort of fodder. That's all content through which and with which, whatever it is that the intelligence of these things is bringing can bring to and through me. I know that sounds really convoluted, and maybe it just is. But so you're talking about, like, maybe it was this, maybe it was that, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. Well, also it was all of that. And in that, with psychedelics, was this opportunity for that intelligence to deeply touch us and leave us with experiences that are profoundly meaningful. And
mhm.
that profound meaning, the experience of that profound meaning, is something that can sometimes automatically, but often as a consequence of intentional cultivation, aka integration, change us as people, change us in fundamental ways that simply just reading about a thing is not able to do.
Yes. Mhm. Experiential meaning. Yeah.
Mhm. And they can hurt us if we're not careful.
Mhm.
They can hurt us in ways that we weren't prepared for, even if we were careful. And they can hurt us in ways that only in hindsight do we realize was exactly how we needed to be hurt and broken in order to come to what we needed to realize in our
Mm.
lives. Right? They could hurt us in ways where we only find out later that that is the way that we've always been hurting, and they just made it real, or they just made it on the surface again,
Mhm.
or what's the word, decompensated or something like that. So we're talking really positively about it, but I want to be clear that they're not panaceas, they're not fundamentally benevolent, they're not magic bullets, they're not always going to be a good time.
Yes. So do you think it's just as important, what you bring to the table with these experiences and going into these states is just as important as, taking the chemical?
I would say that I've heard some people say that it's like 90% of what you get from it is what you bring to it.
Mm.
And my thoughts are something like, we try to calibrate our mindset, which includes the models with which we regard the substance we're taking,
Mm.
what it is, and what the process we're undergoing is. That those things like we can cultivate those models in a way that unhinders that psychedelic or that spirit or that intelligence's capacity to offer us lessons, which is then up to us to learn afterwards. And it's very easy to obfuscate those things, that intelligence. It's very easy to miss those lessons. It's very easy to get something that is borderline indecipherable once you're back down to ground zero. And so, yes, the mindset and the models and the frameworks and all the things that we do, the narratives that we hold, that we bring into those experiences, have a huge role to play in what comes out of the experiences that we have with psychedelics.